What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Patrick here. Moving on to the next question. So we're dividing these two rational expressions here. So first thing we got to do, we got to factor the numerators and denominators. So we got 12x squared minus xy minus 20y squared. So what we got to do, multiply the a and the c, which would give us what? Negative 240. And then notice that there's like a negative 1 over here. So we've got to find two numbers that multiply to negative 240 and then add up to negative 1. And those two numbers are going to be negative 16 and positive 15. Right, so what we would do is we would take the 12x squared minus xy minus 20y squared, and then we would decompose that middle term into minus 16xy plus 15xy, and that's going to be minus 20y squared, like that. And then what we do is we factor by grouping. So from these two, notice that I could take out a 4x, and I'd be left with 3x minus 4y. And then from these two, I could take out a 5y, and I'd be left with 3x minus 4y. Right, 15x divided by 5y, 15xy divided by 5y is 3x, and then negative 20y squared divided by 5y is negative 4y. And then notice that these two brackets are the same. We could take that out, and we'd be left with 4x plus 5y, like that. So this numerator here, it factors into these two terms. So we'll have 3x minus 4y, 4x plus 5y, like that. And then we just keep it going. So here, this denominator, we got 18x squared minus 27xy plus 4y squared. So we would multiply the a and the c. So 18 times 4 is 72. So what two numbers multiply to 72 and add up to negative 27? Well, that would be negative 24 and negative 3. So we'd have minus 24xy minus 3xy plus 4y squared, like that. And then now notice out of these two, we could take out 6x. We'd have 3x minus 4y. And then from these two, we could take out a negative y, and we'd have negative 3x minus 4y. Same bracket, and we'd have a 6x minus y, like that. So this denominator factors into that right there. So I'm going to write these terms. This could be like your next line. What I'm writing here, I'm just writing it up top just to save some room over here. And then we got 4x squared minus 28xy plus 49y squared. So 4 times 9 would give us what? 196. And then we got negative 28 as the b value. So what two numbers multiply to 196 and add up to negative 28? It would be negative 14, negative 14. Right, so we got the 4x squared minus 28xy plus 49y squared. So the negative 28xy, that decomposes into minus 14xy minus 14xy plus 49y squared, like that. And then from these two, we could take out a 2x. So we'd have 2x minus 7y. And from these two, we could take out a minus 7y. So we'd be left with 2x minus 7y. We could take out a 2x minus 7y, and we'd be left with 2x minus 7y. So this here is actually a perfect square trinomial. The two factors are the same. So we could write this as 2x minus 7y squared. Right, so this numerator here is going to be 2x minus 7y squared, like that. And then finally, we got 12x squared minus 44xy. So 12 times 7 gives us 84. what two numbers multiply to 84 and add up to negative 44? That would be negative 42 and negative 2. Right, so we would take that negative 44xy, decompose it into these two factors. Like that. And then from these two, we could take out a what? I think 6 would work, right? 6x. So we'd be left with 2x minus 7y. Then from these two, we could take out a y, or a minus y rather. Take out a minus y, so we'd be left with 2x minus 7y, like that. And then from these two, we could factor that bracket out, and we'd be left with 6x minus y. Right, so lots going on here with the factoring, especially when you're dealing with both variables, x and y. It can make it a little bit more tricky, but just pretend that that y isn't there. It's the exact same process, decomposition, as if it was just in terms of x. So then this over here is going to be 2x minus 7y, and then we're going to have 6x minus y, like that. And then from here, it's pretty easy at this point. We just have to simplify, see what can cancel out. First off, we're going to have to flip this. Before doing so, though, if they ask for restrictions, you can get the restrictions here before canceling stuff out. So notice we can get the restrictions from this denominator. So basically 3x minus 4y can't be 0, and then 6x minus y can't be 0. So you could isolate it in terms of the y or the x. Solution may give both, may give one of them. I'm going to isolate in terms of the x's. So here 3x can't be 4y, divide both sides by 3, so x can't be 4y over 3. Then over here, if I isolate for the x, 6x can't be y, so that means x can't be y over 6. Right, so those are the two restrictions from this denominator here, so I'm going to write them over here. X can't be 4y over 3. That's going to be the first restriction. X can't be y over 6 over here. And then moving on to this, because we're dividing here, we have to get the restrictions from both the numerator and the denominator. So notice that the numerator and denominator basically have this term. So 2x minus 7y can't be 0. So 2x can't be 7y. So that means x can't be 7y over 2. And then 6x minus y can't be 0. We already took care of that here, right? So the restriction for this is over here. So there's actually just 3 restrictions for this whole expression. And now finally, what we can do is we can get to simplifying this. So here we're dividing. So what we want to do is we want to flip that. So I'm going to write everything out. It's a bit of a pain, but it's all good. So this first rational expression we're going to write as is. Here, we're going to flip that, and then we're going to multiply. So we're going to have 2x minus 7y, 6x minus y, all over 2x minus 7y squared. So what's going to cancel out? Notice these are going to cancel out. This is going to cancel out. And then one of these. So there's going to be one left over here in the denominator. So we're just left with 4x plus 5y over one of those factors, 2x minus 7y. So that there ends up being the final answer. That's what this simplifies to, and then those are the restrictions.